Hey again, it's Back Porch Time with Dan. I'm glad you're here today and joining me for a little relaxation on the back porch. I hope I can say something that will help you a little bit and maybe help you relax and feel a little better about yourself today. That's what I'm here for. I hope you'll take time to subscribe to my channel if it's something that means anything to you, and like my content and share it, and even give me a comment and let me know where you're watching from and what you like about it, or if it's helped you at all, or even what I could do differently might help you more. It's my desire to help you today. It's my desire to share something with you that will encourage you or maybe change a negative mindset. See, I have Parkinson's disease, as I've mentioned before in my other videos. And, I've had people ask me, why do I do a channel to try to encourage somebody if I have a disease? Well, one big reason is I know what it's like. I know where you're coming from if you have a disease that's incurable, if you have limited mobility, if you're discouraged about your situation. I can sympathize and empathize with you today. I understand that very well because I've had those same feelings and been in that same place. So it's my desire to share that with you. Maybe that's something good that can come out of my situation today. Let me also say that I'm not a medical professional, and I assume no liability for any content that I share. It's simply from my life experiences and my heart that I share with you today. I'd like to ask you a question. What's your mindset today? If you have a disease, if you have something that's incurable, maybe you have more than one disease, and you wonder, what's my life going to be like in the next 5 years, or the next 6 months, or even next week? That's a tough mindset. That's a hard place to be, and a hard place, honestly, to get out of. And I've been thinking a lot about that. I think about what's my life going to be like in the next couple of years. And it came to me as I was dwelling on that my life could end tomorrow by some other circumstance. I have no promise of tomorrow. So I need to live for today and celebrate today. I need to be able to live and not focus on dying. I hope you're not focused on dying today. That's no place to be. As long as you still draw a breath, you need to focus on living. We need to focus on living. We need to find experiences that cause us to feel alive again. We need to understand if we have parameters that limit us physically. That's okay. That's not who defines us. That's not what defines us. We can understand our limitations and still have a fulfilled life. Are you limited physically? Is it hard for you to move today? Maybe you're paralyzed. Maybe your joints don't work correctly, or you have some other disease that limits you. Then do what you can. If you can move your arms, move your arms. If you can do chair yoga, do chair yoga. Just look it up and find examples. If you can talk and encourage others, do that. If you can pray for someone, pray for them today. If you see someone in need, pray for that person. You could be the only one that does. Another thing you can do to feel better is what I'm doing right now. Just be outside, enjoy the sunshine. Be on the back porch if you've got a porch, if you can get outside. Let somebody help you if they need to. The sunshine, the vitamin D, it can really help. I remember one time my family and I went to hear an evangelist preacher, and he was kind of famous because he had cerebral palsy. And when he came out to start his sermon, he gave his name, said he had cerebral palsy, and then asked, "What's your excuse?" So that's where I'm at today. What's your excuse for not doing something? What's your excuse for not encouraging someone? I've got an excuse. I've got Parkinson's. I could just close myself in and sit down and focus on dying. That's not what I want to do. I want to live. I still want to live and have a life. I want to be fulfilled. If I have tomorrow or the next day, I want to take that opportunity and take those advantages and use them and live. Maybe you have to define your new normal. And that's not an easy thing to do, but you can do it. I had to do it. I had to define my new normal. And you know, when I objectively considered all the factors that I face, it wasn't really that hard. I mean, I was able to sort of put my disease in perspective and understand that it doesn't define everything that I am. Sure, it limits me, but that doesn't mean it defines who I am. We have to remember that it's the hard times that we have opportunity to grow the most. Life's a journey. It's not about having one mountaintop experience after another. It's about the journey. And sometimes that means hard times. But when I look back at hard times in my life, it's in those times where I really grew the most as a person, where I really learned the most. And I hope you'll remember that today. It's a hard perspective to have. It's hard to count your blessings in the hard times. Sometimes the hard times are a blessing and can be. Recently, I took a little trip to the mountains with my son and two of my grandchildren. My son drove us, and we had a really good time. I wasn't able to go in every store they did. Sometimes I had to sit down, even stay in the car, but I did something. I was able to go and enjoy the day, to share with my grandchildren and my son. And it was a precious time that otherwise I would have missed out on if I would have had the mindset that I just couldn't do it. So I want to encourage you today to do what you can. Get out on the porch. Take a little trip, even if it means a family member has to drive you. Is there somebody willing to help you today? Seek out those things. Be on purpose and be deliberate. There are resources to help you today. And if I can help, I'll include my email in the description. If you have a prayer request or a need, or you want to share something personal and not share it in comments, reach out to me on email. I'll be glad to respond. Well, I hope I've said something today that means something to you and can encourage you. That's about all the time I have. Thank you again for spending a little back porch time with me. I hope you'll come back and do this again. Until next time, God bless.